for stopping in. The word love is a pretty powerful word. I'm sure you can agree, based on many different things, but depending on who's saying it, how they say it, whether they use it in a phrase or, or in with different parts of speech, it can mean a lot. It can mean definitely a lot of things. And so the phrase "do it for love" kind of came across, being that I am going to be talking about a chapter entitled "Do It for Love" from the book "The Way of the Superior Man" by David Deida. Hey, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back again with another vlog. And as I mentioned, I'll be talking about the book, or actually one chapter from the book "The Way of the Superior Man" by David Deida. But first, if you end up liking this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, please subscribe. And if you, after watching this video, come up with a comment that you'd like to share, a question that you may have, or anything that may start a back and forth between us, definitely leave those in the comment box below. And then lastly, if you want to be notified of my upcoming videos, make sure to ring that bell. So let's get back to it. So as I stated, I'm going to be looking at a chapter entitled "Do It for Love" from the book "The Way of the Superior Man." I've actually done a book review on this book in the past on my channel, and if you'd like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description box below, or you can just click here. So, doing it for love, okay? When I think about the phrase "doing it for love," it conjures up different visuals than someone talking about they hate something. You know what I'm saying? When I love something, I'm a completely different person than when I hate something. You know what I'm saying? I act completely different. And so, The Way of the Superior Man, this book that I'm talking about, kind of delves into, or in a sense, a spiritual guide on helping to help you master the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire. So that's giving you a little bit of background on the book. And like I said, it's definitely a book that I would recommend. But like I said, you can check out the book review if you like. So this chapter that I'm speaking about, "Doing It for Love." The chapter in itself states this: most men's ultimate reason for doing anything has to do with discovering their deepest truths, enjoying total freedom and love, and giving their fullest gifts. So in a sense, this is the ideal of doing it for love. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do it for love, do it all the way. And these are, in a sense, kind of the benefits and the reasons why a man would, in a sense, go out and do something, is because it helps him find his truest gifts, gives him freedom, and it gives him a sense of love and completeness. Well, as the ideal, we realize that most men don't live up to that. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm not saying, even myself, I don't necessarily feel I'm living up to that, but that's the ideal. So with that being the ideal, that means that we can do things to get there, and in an approach, or in a sense of working towards it. At this point, being that we're not living the ideal, most men live bits and pieces of it. They get a little freedom, they get a little bit of love, they get, a little bit of completeness by being able to build a life that is comfortable for them, or they even, have build up of possessions that they may have that helps them feel this idea of completeness. But at the end of the day, they're not living it. They're not fully living it. And so they still have this anxiety, this feeling of loneliness, just fear in general, and this idea or this feeling of, like I said, incompleteness. And maybe you feel that way. I know I've been at a point where I've probably been worse in this situation, because I didn't really even have an idea or a thought of being able to give my fullest gifts. And so I know in that sense I was definitely lacking before I even got to this book. So how do we get to that point, or what is it that we're supposed to do? And so David Deida states this in the book, or in this chapter, "Doing It for Love," like this: to bloom a woman and world for real takes authenticity, persistence, and courage of heart. A man must know the truth at his core and be willing to give his gifts fully. No holding back. He must be willing to dedicate his sex and his life to magnify love by penetrating woman and the world with his true gifts. This willingness is rare. It's what I'm understanding is what he's stating there. And yes, he is talking about intercourse. He is talking about sex. He's talking about sexing your woman and sexing the world. And so in this sense, he goes on to state, many men are willing to poke the world and bloom it in a mediocre way, giving a few bucks and contributing enough betterment so they do not feel their life is a total waste. That statement there for me brings up this idea of half-assing it. Not necessarily putting your best work out there, not necessarily giving 100%. And in the day-to-day, most people can get away by half-assing it. That's just kind of the way it is. But I think at the same time, it doesn't lead to anything big. You still deal with the anxieties and uncertainties, still maybe having fear, and then maybe even fear of giving or searching for your truest gifts. And so half-assing it is not an ends to a means. Half-assing is just kind of, just like he says, a total waste of time. So how do you remedy this? So how does this book, or how does this chapter, or how does Mr. Deida remedy this? And there's one of two ways that you can go. One way is just to dedicate yourself to searching for your gifts, or better at, to renounce sexual intimacy and worldliness, dedicating yourself fully without distraction of the unpredictable world and unpredictable woman. The other way you can remedy this, and he clearly states, is to fuck them both to smithereens, to ravish them with love unsheathed, to give your true gifts despite constant tussle of woman and world, to smelt your authentic gifts in this friction of opposition and surrender. So yeah, so there's one of two ways. You can renounce sexual desire in the world and just kind of be towards yourself, which, that's kind of like a monk. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming that's like a monk. The other way is to fuck them both to smithereens, in a sense, just going after it, relentlessly ravishing, with intent to kill. And at the same time, be willing and understanding and know that you have what it takes to get it done. So my point here was sharing this chapter from The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida is, in a sense, to encourage men to step up. Obviously it starts with me because I'm doing this video, but just to encourage other men to step up, and do it for the love. Do it for the love. In the sense that whether you're dealing with a woman or you're dealing with the world, you're going to give your best. We're not talking about half-assing it. Again, half-assing it is a way to 100% mediocreness. It's, you may get the accolades because people looking at you may not know that you're doing it half-assed, and they can just kind of like say, oh, this guy's really doing a great job. But it doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to anything positive. It doesn't lead to anything, to be proud of. And so, in a sense, giving the effort, your best effort to love your woman, to give her the love that she needs, to love the world, in the sense that you are going to try to give your truest gifts, search for that core that you have, and give your best gifts to the world. To delve deeper, my man, delve deeper to find your truth, to find your truest of gifts and love, and then give it freely, because that that you are 100% capable of dealing with whatever may come your way. So that has been my piece for today. Hopefully it hit you the way it needed to hit you. If you enjoyed it, or if it could help you in a certain way, I'm glad for that as well. But again, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe. If you have a comment, question, or anything that you'd like to share, make sure to leave that in the comment box below. And lastly, if you want to be notified of upcoming videos, make sure to ring that bell. So, like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. I will see you on the flip side. Let's go.